Well, for the longest time now, I've been talking about server consolidations and why we actually need it. And the fact that all of these one-sided servers that are PvP servers have literally nobody on the opposing faction. They're either pretty much 100% Alliance or 100% Horde. We'll get into that in a minute. But Tom Ellis, who's a senior game producer, has posted what his plans are so far in terms of server consolidation when it does come to Mists of Pandaria Classic. And to be fair, I think it sounds pretty sensible. I do want to say thanks to Doom on my Discord who actually put a picture of the post in, because I very, very rarely check X or Twitter or whatever you cool kids call it nowadays. So what he said is so far everyone seems on board and he just wants to reveal his plans and probably get some feedback. That's what he means by you can yell at me. So for the US, all PvP realms become PvE and closed to new characters. And he's basically saying exactly what I said. Sorry, your 100% Horde/Alliance realm isn't a PvP realm. Let's stop pretending. It'll also then open free character moves from all realms to one single destination realm. They'll add a boatload of hardware to the main realm and let the chaos commence. At the same time, Grobulus US is a faction-balanced and enforced realm. It'll open free character migrations from the old ex-PvP realms to Grobulus, so if you actually want world PvP, that'll be an option. He even goes as far as giving you a warning that beware, it is an actual PvP realm, as in I know many people that play on Grobulus and they have organised world PvP events and stuff, which is actually pretty cool, especially with how the game is in terms of world PvP today. And they are going to monitor faction balance on Grobulus as well, so that ain't just going to turn into a one-sided realm. Every single EU server is just going to turn PvE, because there isn't a single PvP realm in EU that isn't 100% one faction. They'll do exactly the same here, where there's going to be just one mega server where absolutely everyone from every realm can move there if they want to, which I kind of feel like is probably going to be the play. EU still has a healthy population on the other realms as well, and they're going to have all of those servers, so all the Russian servers, for example, all just merge into one single server. They have said they could do the same as they did in Season of Discovery and Anniversary, but they'll likely wait and see on the community's reaction. Now, the same that they done in Season of Discovery and Anniversary was actually merging all of those into one single server, so rather than like each region into one server. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. He's also looking at bringing in the date that we use for name consolidation so that as many names are available on a destination realm as possible. Now, I think this is good news, and let's be fair, okay, outside of Grobulus, world PvP is not a thing. All the PvP servers are one-sided. I play on a one-sided PvP server. All of them just turn in PvE makes sense. Then bringing in war mode would actually make more sense to me personally. Have them all as PvE, except for Grobulus, but actually enable war mode, so you can toggle on and off world PvP via war mode like you can in retail, and you get an XP bonus for being flagged while you're running round. Because this would actually mean the fun PvP, which is more, in my opinion, the lower level PvP when you're running around actually leveling up. Let's say you're in Strangleform Val at 35, 36, and you're actually PvPing against people at the same level. So I think bringing in war mode at the same time as doing this would be like something that I would personally like to see, but probably a lot of development work there, and all they're trying to do at the moment is trim the fat when it comes to servers, because they're probably wanting to get some server space ready for Classic Plus, which is probably not as far out as we think, on the basis they're actively trying to shut down every private server that exists. Now, looking at MoP, it's quite interesting actually, because the numbers have gone up from the last time I looked, but that's probably more people getting ults and more people raiding, but we've got a couple of 100,000 worldwide. Now, when you look through these realms, it is pretty clear to see. You've got a PvP server being Firemore, which is literally nearly 100% Alliance. You've got Gehennas, which is the same, but this time it's Horde. Fairlina, Mankrik. I play on Mankrik. I genuinely actually thought it was a PvP realm. It's not, it's PvE. Well, you learn something every day. It does just go to show how little a PvP server actually means when I didn't even know what server type I'm even playing on, and I've been there for, well, since the middle of Wrath of the Lich King. But overall, you can see every PvP realm is dominated by a single faction. It don't matter whether you look at EU or US, but you can also see that Grobulus really is an outlier here, where it's pretty balanced. And as I say, they do PvP events on that server, so they don't want to be ruining the one PvP server that still exists in the game. But it does beg the question, do you stay or do you go? Yes, your server's going to be close to new characters, so it's never going to increase in population. It's only going to decrease over time as everyone moves to this mega server, but I don't think it's something that I would rush into, because I'd imagine early on, whatever this new mega server is going to be will probably come with its problems. Now, your old server isn't going to shut down, so me on Mankrik, as an example, we've got our guild there. We don't really rely on new players coming over to the server to recruit or anything like that, so I think letting everything die down a bit first, letting them get the tech right to be able to handle the amount of people that are going to move to that server, because let's face it, the vast majority are going to. Everyone wants a mega server. The mega server would naturally become more balanced anyway, as in faction balanced, even though there's no world PvP, but you would at least see Alliance and Horde, you know, respectively, whatever faction you're on, you're going to see the opposite faction running around, because the Alliance-dominated servers are all going to move there, the Horde-dominated servers are going to move there. So I think it would be good for the game overall, but I do think it's going to be an absolute nightmare just while it's got that bedding in period, where I think I'd rather hide on Mankrik for a few weeks, maybe a couple of months, and let it actually settle in first. If you was to all of a sudden have 60, 70,000 people all moving onto one single realm thinking, this is going to be great, I'm going to be able to get pugs, there's going to be GDKPs all over the place, like, it would be a good time because of just generally being able to find pugs and all that would be so much easier. But will it be a good time if there's queues, if there's lag, if there's crashes, if there's not enough layers and all that sort of thing? So it is a bit like the grass is greener on the other side. Is it really? So even I, as a guild leader on Mankrik, I don't even know what we're going to do yet. It will be a discussion for the guild. We're quite happy where we are, but being on a mega server, if it ends up going that way where hundreds of thousands of people are all moving to this one single server and it can actually handle it, then obviously it would be an option. But I think treading very lightly is going to be a sensible approach, and just not rushing into it thinking that it's going to be the best thing ever, because I'm not sold. I'm not sure. I think it's the right thing to do, and I would have probably rather have just seen servers being merged together rather than actually just one mega server that's open for everybody to transfer to. But we'll see how it goes. But I wanted to let you know, server consolidations, it looks like it's on its way, and I'm guessing we'll probably have a date fairly soon based off of this post. And he did actually say in an additional post that their plan was for connected realms, which is what we actually had back in original Mr. Pandaria, but for all the different work they've been doing on various different classic versions, they just never got round to it. But hypothetically, after their success running the entirety of Season of Discovery and Anniversary on effectively one realm, what would you think about the entire MoP population for NA being on a single NA realm? See it as a good thing if they can pull it off, if it can handle it, because I'm not being funny, even Mankrik lags in Shrine sometimes. I'd hate to think if it was 4, 5, 6 times the size that it actually is, I don't know if they could handle it, but we'll see. But if you enjoyed the video, as always, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.